So I'm sitting there, family court, calm, prepared, polite, wearing a shirt with buttons, making eye contact, saying good morning, like I'm at a bloody job interview for a parent of the year. Basically, everything my ex isn't. She rolled in like she's auditioning for a Channel 5 documentary called My Baby Dad Ruined My Life, and other myths I made up on the spot, sobbing like a on cue, mascara running like she's doing a sponsored tearathon. Meanwhile, I've brought evidence, a timeline, and a copy of the Children's Act highlighted like GCSE's revision guide, proper done, and yet somehow I'm the risk. Apparently, in England and Wales, the only thing more terrifying than an aggressive man is one who isn't, because if you're shouting, you're a threat. But if you're not shouting, well, you're emotionally detached. Now, you're withholding. Now you're calculating. What are you planning with all that? Calmness. I mean, Kafkas actually wrote on the report, I was actually emotionally withdrawn. I said, no, love, that's just called, I'm not screaming back, that's all. Apparently that's unnatural now. What do they want from me? To cry on a flip chart, into the flip chart? You ever tried arguing with a woman who doesn't want resolution? She wants a Netflix deal. She doesn't want closure. She wants a cliffhanger. Every text she sends has a plot twist. And here's the trick. If you don't engage, if you don't break down like a wet tissue on a camera, they say you're controlling. Why? Because you stayed calm. Calm like a fully functioning adult with a mortgage and a mediation app. Calm is now suspicious because being rational is now power and control. Apparently, mindfulness is coercion, and not throwing a chair is emotional terrorism. Honestly, if I stormed in with a baseball bat and screamed, I demand equality, they'd probably give me supervised visits and a therapy dog, wouldn't they? I do these videos as trying a survival guide for men with brains, basically. And so there's another time, there's another incident, right? There's another incident, just so you can get wherever I'm coming from, right? There I am in the kitchen, making a cup of tea like a peaceful civilian, when suddenly, boom, and it's smash, ambush. She walks in like Liam Neeson with a grudge and says, why didn't you text me back this morning? Why didn't you text me? It's like 7 a.m. I haven't even seen my own face in the mirror yet. Yeah, and there I am being interrogated like I've just committed emotional tax fraud. Now, rookie move, the amateur hour mistake is to respond with logic. Oh, I was driving. Wrong. I had a meeting. Wrong, dead wrong, dead wrong. Because she's not looking for facts. She's looking for a reaction. This isn't a conversation. It's a drama audition. And if you match her energy, you've just signed yourself up for the lead role in The Argument Strikes Back, part 17. 1. Fight fire with fire. You fight fire with fire? Congratulations. You now live in a volcano. Well done. She's got flames in her eyes, rage in her tone, and the paragraph-long WhatsApp rant loading behind her pupils. So what do? You drop your energy like you're like a Jedi monk on Valium. Voice calm, shoulders relaxed, eye contact steady. And you say something like, I can see you're upset. Boom. Now she's confused. Because her whole rhythm was based on your defensiveness. But now you've gone full Yoda. She's throwing heat and you're giving her cool jazz. That, my friend, is emotional Aikido. Step 2, recognize the pattern. Listen for the argument. The argument is never about the thing that she's arguing about. It's not about the dishes. It's not about the text. It's not even about the girl you followed on Instagram 3 years ago, whose name was Jessica Fitness _XOXOXO. Nope. It's not about feelings. It's not. It is about feelings. It is about feelings. You see, she feels ignored. She feels insecure, and when a woman feels something, it's because it becomes historical. It becomes a historical event with subtitles and the theme music. Your job: spot the pattern. Don't take it personally. Think of it like this: she's not mad at you. She's mad near you. Step 3: be the ice, not the flame. So now, you're gonna like this, right? When she's mid-rant, ready to rewrite the Geneva Convention of relationships, you calmly say, "I hear you. Let's talk when we can both listen." And then you just sit there, like still, stoic, like a statue of accountability carved from the marble of self-respect. That's not weakness. That's unbreakable masculine frame. She was expecting a boxing match. You turned it into a mindfulness retreat. Boom. Can't touch this. Step 4: mirroring with boundaries. Now, here's the Jedi move. Right? When you validate the emotion, you protect your dignity. You say, "I get it. I would be frustrated too. That would frustrate me too." Then, without flinching, you say, but shouting at me isn't okay. You say it calmly, don't lie. But shouting at me is not okay. Now, she's heard. She's not shamed, but she also knows. This castle has walls. You're not a doormat. You're a Zen warrior in a relationship combat boots. Step 5, don't try to win, try to lead. If you're trying to win the argument, you've already lost. because the argument isn't about being right. It's about power transfer. She's not checking your logic. She's checking your stability. So be the rock, be the lighthouse in her emotional tsunami. Be the man who doesn't flinch when she weaponizes the words "you always," "you never." In the same, like, don't react to it. Basically, don't react to it. Like, bonus tip for you, right? Walk away like a king. Yeah. If it gets toxic, manipulation, name calling, the works. You don't engage. You don't beg. You don't explode. You stand up. You look them in the eyes and you say, "This isn't how I do relationships. We'll talk when there's respect in the room." And that's it. Drop the mic, and then you leave like a king leaving burning building with the crown on its head and 0 smoke damage. For the boys in the back, stay calm equals power. Don't defend. Diffuse the feelings. Facts. Make sure they're speaking with facts, validate without surrender, walk away when the room gets toxic, because in today's world, being calm, clear, emotionally intelligent is considered dangerous. Trust me. And that, my friend, makes you an absolute lethal person. Do you ever notice how, I'm going on about different things here, but you ever notice how it's always the man who has to stay calm? I've been doing lots of training things with Kafkas and everything recently, and you're the one, like, it's like you're the relationship with a woman who's gone like full Marvel villain, throwing emotional grenades around like the living room like she's auditioning for Real Housewives of Chernobyl, and you're the one expected to diffuse it. Yeah, she called you a narcissist, a deadbeat, and told your mum that you've got erectile dysfunction. But don't take it personally. She's just stressed. Right. Meanwhile, if you so much as breathe too heavily, the neighbours are dialing 999, and suddenly you're the evening news with the headline that reads, "Local man shows signs of tone. Society rewards female chaos and punishes male control." When a woman loses her shit, it's understandable. She's emotional, she's overwhelmed, she's hormonal, whatever, yeah? When a man loses his shit, he's toxic, he's unstable, he's a danger to society, and probably owns knives. It doesn't matter if she's shrieking like a banshee who just found your old Tinder message from like 2014. The second you raise your voice, like church mouse, you're one complaint away from a non-molestation order and a restraining goat. Power isn't fair, it's silent. They say real men don't shout. No, real men internalize everything until they develop a twitch and a Google painless heart attack symptoms. But seriously, if you shout back, you're aggressive. If you stay calm, now she looks insane. That's your power. Let her burn her credibility while you sit there sipping tea like a Dalai Lama with Wi-Fi. Emotionally immature women don't want resolution. They want a sequel. She doesn't want to fix things. She wants drama. She's not having a conversation. She's writing a season 4 of My Ex is a Monster, and she's the star and the producer and the soundtrack. And the worst part, if you stay calm, she gets bored. She vanishes into thin air like a magician with her daddy issues, which is great actually. But because when the chaos leaves, the peace remains. And guess what? You won. And the cold truth, no one's coming to save you. If you retaliate, no one is coming to save you. Do not retaliate. If you retaliate, no one's there. Not the police, not your mates, not your nan. Your nan will go, "What did you say to make her cry?" "Cheers, nan." She could pick you. She could key your car, punch you in the face, film it, and live stream it on TikTok filter with a TikTok filter, and say, and still you would be the one in the back of the police car while she's getting sympathy comments like, "Stay strong, Queen. My man deserves your trauma." You can't win by fighting back. You win by not playing the game. You be silent. You be the silent general. You stay calm in the storm, because you're not just dodging an argument. You're playing chess with your freedom, basically. And you are fucking with your freedom, because if you argue, you say like the wrong tone, the wrong way, you're gone. The red flag. When you're expected to take emotional beatings, hold the line, absorb the madness, and never get credit. That's not a relationship. That's emotional hostage negotiation with cuddles. I've said that before. That's a war disguised as love. So what do? You walk away, not like a coward, not like a victim. You walk away like a man who's just finally realised, I'm not your therapist, your punching bag, or your unpaid crisis counsellor. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you, and I'm leaving because I have to prove it I have to prove it in court. That's what you do. Does the English and Welsh law marginalise men? So that question, only slightly. So someone asks, does that really the case? Someone actually asked me, and I did, does the English and Wales law marginalise men and protect women? In the short, the only answer I have for you for that is yes. A long answer is yeah. but with paperwork. It's not just sexism, it's administered sexism. Sophisticated, organised, printed, triplicate, and stamped with a big fat government logo that says, "Trust us, this is equality." The system is built on assumptions, mainly that mums are angels and dad's basically a sofa with eyebrows. Apparently, if you've got a womb, you also get the keys and the parenting kingdom. Even if the dad's doing 50% of it all, the court still goes, "Yep, let's leave the child with the mum. It's more stable." Oh yeah, emotional chaos, unsupported allegations, and a new boyfriend every fortnight. That really screams stability, doesn't it? Meanwhile, the dad says, "Actually, I've been doing the school runs, bathing, and surviving Peppa Pig marathons since 2017. And the judge says, sounds a bit controlling if you ask me. Do you have a beard? Because in court, if mum cries, she's a victim, and if a dad cries, he's manipulative and probably faking it to get more weekends. The law pretends it's neutral, but it's about as neutral as a Mumsnet forum on Father's Day. There's no law that says women get custody. No, there is not. That would be too obvious. Instead, they do it anyway, just like 95% of the time. Non-resident parents are men. But don't worry, that's definitely not bias. That's just a coincidence. A statistically impossible coincidence. But sure, let's all pretend it's all fine. Let's just live in a deluded world. False allegations never get punished. You could claim he's a werewolf and Kafkas would write, "Mother reports supernatural concerns, recommend supervisor contact until full moon phase passes." It's fact. It's what happens. Mother says it gets put into report. Domestic abuse law. Now, with the extra gender stereotypes, yes, the Domestic Abuse Act 2021, brought to you by people who thought feelings were facts and that allegation rhymed with conviction. It includes emotional and psychological abuse. Sounds good until it becomes this. You say, we can talk when you've calmed down. That equals coercive control. You block her number after 40 abusive text messages. That equals stonewalling. You ask, "Where are the kids?" That equals harassment. But if she threatens to smash your car, block your contact, and send 15 voicemails screaming, "I'm going to fucking ruin you. I'm going to make your fucking life a hell. You're never going to see your fucking kids again." Kafkas just goes, "She's just upset. She clearly loves her children. Clearly." Let's talk legal age, shall we? Now, with the bonus gender points, so if she makes an allegation, any allegation, mind you, it could be, "He looked at me funny in 2016. She just gets legal aid. Instantly off to pay for the taxpayer. Instantly, boom, taxpayer funded, all yours, done. Go. You sell your Xbox, pawn your car, and represent yourself in court wearing your one smart shirt, and printed out skeleton argument you made on Microsoft Word at 3 a.m. But hey, equality, that's what it's there. It's all there. It's right, fair. It's all fair. It's all equal. Speak up, and you're branded. Try speaking up as a man, and you're not a parent. You're a misogynist, a bitter ex, or my personal favourite, an abuser in disguise. In disguise? What am I? Batman? Batman for Batman. What am I? Batman for neglect? Neglect for neglect? But if a woman makes a TikTok crying about, they just consistently produce outcomes that make men feel like they're renting their children with a 5-day notice period and a reminder not to look too angry. And until more men start filming this, talking about it, writing jokes about it, and standing up without being labelled a danger to society, the legal system will keep marching on like a dodgy stage play called equality, the greatest lie ever legislated. Now, here's how you present this to the court without getting shut down. Never argue that the system is biased. Show that your case is. You're not trying to rewrite the law in your hearing. You're showing how the principles of justice were abandoned in your specific case. Make it personal, not political. Say something like, "My concern is not with the law itself, but with how it's been applied in this case. The pattern of decisions has created an unequal dynamic that I believe undermines child's welfare and my role as a parent." This frames it in court language as measured, responsible, and child-focused. Use their own rules against them. Learn Practice Direction 12J. Practice Direction on domestic abuse, basically, and the Children's Act 1989, Section 1, like it's your Bible. Start quoting it. The paramount consideration must be for the welfare of the child. With respect, Your Honour, the current arrangement does not reflect that principle. It reflects the presumption based on gender. Now, you're not just challenging the court, you're reminding it of its own standards, and they can't ignore that. Create a pattern of injustice. So, with receipts, say, right, so don't just say, I'm treated unfairly. Show it. Evidence it. List every time your evidence was ignored. Every instance where your allegations were taken at face value without proof, Every safeguarding concern you've raised that got dismissed, contrast it with how hers were treated. Bundle it up into a timeline and attach it to your statement. Call it Appendix A, procedural disparities and evidence handling, whatever. That makes the judge look, because now it's about a procedure, not your feelings. Make sense? Never get emotional, get clinical. So when you get angry, they say you're dangerous. When you cry, they say you're manipulative. When you stay calm, speak plainly and bring facts. Now you're credible. Like a surgeon, cold, precise, controlled. This is not about blame, it's about balance. I'm asking the court to consider whether the approach taken so far reflects fairness, evidence, and welfare of the child, not assumptions and stereotypes. Frame it as what's best for the child. Always what's best for the child. Courts don't care about your pain. Harsh, but true. They don't care about risk, stability, and outcomes for the children. That's all they care about. So always bring it back to what message does it send the child to see one parent removed without cause? How does marginalizing a parent impact the child's identity and emotional development? Should a child's relationship with their father depend on unproven allegations? And now you're arguing like a damn king. Want a nuclear option with this? Drop this line into your closing statement. Ready? Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. I hope when this case is reviewed in hindsight, it reflects the fairness and impartiality that every parent, regardless of gender, deserves. That is how you slap the system in the face, with a velvet glove and a chessboard. You want me to rewrite a version of this for you in your own personal statement? Give me a shout. I can lace it up like a lawyer with a sledgehammer in a silk suit.